Hello, and welcome back down the rabbit's hole. I am Icarus 480, and I'm back once again with a new edition of Icarus Storytime for you guys. This is pretty much a sequel to my last Storytime series, the Locked Up Prison shit. If for some reason you guys haven't seen that series, go get locked up for a little bit and come right back here for the true origins of Icarus, if you would. In this multi-upload series, I'm going to tell you guys the story about how I found out I was going to become a father, during that course of time, how I became homeless, and all the crazy shenanigans that happened with it. Before I begin, I do want to make a quick but extremely big disclaimer, and that is that I love my mom. I love my mother with all of my heart, all of my soul, and all of my being. Why are you saying this, Icarus? Well, during the course of this Storytime series, my mom is going to seem like a complete asshole. But I just want everybody to know I now understand as an adult why my mom did this to me. And honestly, I'd probably do the same to my spawn, which you will learn about here soon. So just let that sit in the back of your minds as we all jump on our psychedelic toy machine. Smoke DMT. The year was 2011, February 2011 to be exact. That is exactly 12 months, 52 weeks, 365 days from the day I was released from the Arizona Department of Corrections. What happened in that course of time, Icarus? Well, I was back in the flow of things. Went back to high school, which I was very close from graduating from. I had gotten a girlfriend, no more fucking rubber gloves. I had gotten a car, I had gotten tattooed, I started stretching my ears, reconnected with all my friends. The bars of the fucking Arizona Department of Corrections were far behind me. I was living life, proud and free. So I went to night school during this period of time. I think I mentioned that in one of my other short story times. Went back to that high school. Was dating a girl for about a year. That's where we're going to start. Again, this was February 25th, 2011. We were driving to school one day, right? As we're driving to school, she mentions to me, I'm late for my period. And I was like, what are you talking about? First period doesn't begin for another hour and a half. You're crazy, girl. Get your mind right. She's like, no, my period's late. I haven't had it in 2 weeks. So I start making jokes. Oh, you're pregnant. Oh, we're going to have a kid. And she's like, no, sometimes it's irregular. And I'm like, what does that mean? I don't have a vagina. Whatever. So we're just kind of going back and forth, right? And as we're driving down this main road, and there's like houses, like housing community, but there's a sign that says HIV STD testing free pregnancy test. So we're going back and forth. I see that sign, and I'm like, man, look, free pregnancy test. We have an hour before school starts. Why don't we just pull up in there and get you tested, and then we'll both jump in this car and we'll laugh about it. So she agrees, and we flip a bitch, and we pull up into basically a house, right? So this house was like some type of church-related place or something, woman's home thing. We get out and just humbly walk to the door, walk in, like, oh, we're here to take a pregnancy test. They're like, okay, fill out the papers. So I'm sitting there, there's fucking rocking chairs, building blocks, Legos, fucking fluffy bunnies, VeggieTales is playing on a TV. She's filling out paperwork, whatever. They take her in the back. So I'm just sitting there looking around like, ugh, parenthood. Nah, whatever. Pick up a magazine, start flipping through Parenthood 101, looking through magazines. I'm watching VeggieTales. About 15 minutes later, she comes just storming out the door. So I'm a troll, as a lot of people who follow me on social media and streams and stuff know. I like to play a lot of jokes, a lot of pranks. I like to fuck with people, right? And that's what I do to my significant others. So I think she's trying to get back at me for all the stupid things I've played on her or whatever. I'm going to pretend I'm pregnant. So she walks out, and I roll my ass like, okay. She goes in the car, I get in the car, I'm like, dude, knock it off. And she's crying. I'm like, wow. Someone give this girl an Oscar. She is fucking really selling it. I'm like, knock it off. She's like, no, there was 2 lines. I'm pregnant. And I'm like, yo, this is for real, not for play. She's like, for real. So I dropped the keys. And my heart sunk into my ball sack. And I was like, yo, please tell me you're fucking kidding. She's like, I'm not fucking kidding. No! I'm like, yo, wait, no. It's a false positive. It has to be a false positive, right? That exists. That exists. It's false positive is a thing. I'm like, yeah, let's not worry about that. You know what? After school, I'm going to go to Walmart, and then we're going to get 2 pregnancy tests. We'll try this shit again. She's like, okay, you know. So I'm just like, it's okay. Just calm down. We're going to be okay. You know, we're just going to laugh about this later. We pull into school. All right. Yeah, see you later. So we go into school. Now, I get in my first period. We were kind of late. I get in my first period, and I see my boy Marcos. Shout out to Marcos. He's in my It movie trip report. I see him, and he has a 6-month pregnant girlfriend at the time. Now, what's funny is about 3 weeks before this took place, he told me, yo, dude, you need to be careful, man. You're probably going to get her pregnant. And I was like, nah, dude, I'm good. I'm not going to happen. So I sit down next to him. I'm just like, shit, dude. He's like, yo, man, what's going on? So I say to him, so check this out. And I just told him what I told you guys. And his jaw drops. I told you. I was like, nah, dude, it's a false positive, bro. It's a false positive, man. It's not, no, dude. Like, I'm going to go to Walmart. I'm going to get some pregnancy tests after this, dude, and we're just going to laugh about it. He's like, I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. So he starts telling me all about the beginning of his girlfriend's pregnancy and shit, and he's just, like, going through all this crap, man, about doctor's appointments and parenting classes and this and telling the parents, and as he's going through, I'm getting dizzy, I'm getting hot, I'm sweaty. I'm like, just stop. Bro, it's all good. So, class ends, we jumped right in the car, go to Walmart. Now, I didn't have a fucking job, dude. So, I had no money to buy a pregnancy test, so I fucking yanked it. And I stole 2 pregnancy tests. I gave her one in Walmart to go use in the women's restroom. She comes back, we get in the car, and sure enough, there's 2 lines, meaning she's fucking pregnant. I'm like, okay, it's another false positive. Let's go to Walgreens. So we go to Walgreens. I'm like, do you still have to pee? She's like, yeah. I'm like, cool, pee on this stick. So she goes in the bathroom, pees on that stick. As I'm waiting for her outside the bathroom, I'm standing next to pregnancy test, and I see one for like $60 or something. It's called Clear Blue. It literally digitally says pregnant, not pregnant. So the ones I stole were like $15. I see that one. I'm like, okay, this is like the all-seeing eye of pregnancy, right? If this thing says she's pregnant, she's probably pregnant, so I stole it. And then she comes back, and that pregnancy test that she had taken came out positive. So I'm like, okay, you know what? It's all good. You're going to come over tomorrow after school. I stole this, and I explained to her, this was like $60, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was going to fucking happen. So she comes over after school. She takes the pregnancy test, and we sit in the bathroom together, and literally, this was the longest 60 fucking seconds of my life. We're sitting there, and it beeps. Beep. I look down, I look at the pregnancy test, and it says, you're a daddy, motherfucker. I'm like, all right, what are we going to do? So we just like, all right, what are we going to fucking do? Her parents aren't her parents are her grandparents, so fuck one generation of Bible believers. We're looking at the like 1940s of Bible believers. Okay, my parents are pretty religious. This is not going to go well. So we realized, okay, we have no money. Like, what are we going to do? Oh my God. Fuck. Next day passes. We realize we have to fucking tell our parents. We have to. There's no other fucking choice. Luckily for me, it kind of softened the blow. My mother had just gotten out of surgery, so she had a very high dose prescription of morphine, and she was extremely la 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 out of it, you know what I'm saying? So she heard us like, yo, like, let's just do it. No. She knocks on the door and is like, hey, what are you guys talking about in here? And I was like, Mom, just come in real quick. I need to tell you something. And she's like, what's going on? What? And I was like, can you read that? And I hand her the pregnancy test. She just looks at me and goes, no fucking way. I'm like, yeah. She's like, did you tell her parents? I was like, no, not at all. Not at all. And she's like, fuck, okay. And then she goes and calls my dad. Now, as you know, my dad's a cop, or was a cop. Whoa, my dad's not a cop. My dad was a cop back in the day, Prison Time series, that's why you gotta go watch that shit. And he comes in his uniform and he's like, hey, what's up? And he looks at it and he looks at me and he's like, you're a fucking idiot. I'm just like, I know. He's like, and he just walks away. So I was like, yeah, you gotta tell your parents. So she did, which they really didn't like because they're like, in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, fuck Satan, whatever. They kicked her ass right the fuck out, and now she was living with me, which is cool. It's like, it's all good. So here's where the decision had to come. Do we kill it, or do we keep it? So, in all honesty, I'm a believer that everything happens for a reason. I'm pro fucking life. I was man enough to make a baby, I'm fucking man enough to raise it. Just like I was man enough to throw a fucking bomb, I was man enough to go to prison and have my fucking grandpa die. That shit happened for a reason. I couldn't just nip that shit in the bud and been like, oh, fuck responsibility. No. I had to fucking do what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, you have your own fucking political beliefs, whatever you fucking want. That's what I fucking believe. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna fucking do this. We're gonna fucking do this. We're gonna raise it, whatever. So now, all the doctor's appointment comes. Everything that Marcos told me. We went to some place to get a professional pregnancy test that came out, and they like whispered it to us, like, okay, so we ran the test, and you are pregnant. You are pregnant. We're like, why are you whispering, motherfucker? We know. And they're like, okay, well, you got to get you on prenatal vitamins and set you up with an appointment and a doctor and all this stuff. So, which awesome is I'm Native American, which means we get free healthcare. Oh yeah, baby. So we took her to the Native hospital, did everything we had to do, and at this point in time, we're, you know, working parents. So, or becoming parents, whatever. So we go back to school, doing what we had to do. I graduated high school early. I was applying for a job. My mom, at that point in time, got on my ass. You need to find a fucking job. You're fucking immature as fuck. You just got out of fucking prison. You have a baby on the fucking way. You need to get your fucking shit together. Find a job. So I lived in a shitty fucking city that literally no one was hiring. This was during a very shortage of jobs in the government. Fucking thanks, Obama. Like, yeah, shit was really shitty. I could not find a job, so I figured I'm just gonna go to school and tutor because a teacher fucking loved me there and I really knew the class, economics. And yeah, so I was trying to tutor to make it be like good on some sort of resume, like, oh, well, I graduated high school, I, you know, still tutor children and all this stuff and blah, 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 blah. Could not find a job whatsoever. So this goes on for about 2.5, 3 months. And during this course of time, my parents got an extremely, extremely nasty divorce. So I'm not going to get into all that. All you got to know is it was not pretty. Split up, you know. My mom's, you know, pretty distraught about the whole thing. And I'm a lot like my dad. So the last thing you want to be around is someone who reminds you exactly of the person you just were married to of 21 years. And I kind of had a target on my head because I just, so much things are going on with me. So we fought. We fought a lot. You know, I wasn't doing things right, this or that. And, you know, it just caused a lot of turmoil. So I had found some sort of job thing-ish. It was like daily work, daily pay, whatever. Horrible jobs, basically, where I bust my ass doing like $25 an hour jobs for like $7.48 an hour. And I was making like $45 a day. And I worked like 4 of those jobs and was saving money until I could find a real job. And then they stopped hiring me or stopped bringing me on, or the job ended or whatever. And my mom got pissed off about that. So this is where I kind of turned to get the fuck out of this house until you find a job. So I had gotten kicked out one night, slept in the street. First time sleeping in the street. It was horrible. I hardly even slept. I went back to my mom's house for like 2 days. We fought again. I got kicked out for 2 days. And this just process kept repeating. And eventually, I was hungry. You know, I was on the streets. I had nowhere to go. I had no food, nothing. I started breaking into cars. Started fucking, you know, stealing shit to try to sell it to make money so I could fucking eat. And I was living like that for a little bit. and I was sleeping in this house right next to my house because the people next to me, no one lived there, but then people started moving in, so I had to skedaddle out of there. So as this is going on, my dad is still a cop. He was a cop on the reservation. He comes to me. My girl's 3 months pregnant. He's knows what's going on, and he says, "Son, why don't you come with me? Come on the res. We'll find you a job. We'll figure everything out, and we'll see what we can do for you." I'm like, "No, I can't do that. She's pregnant. I really can't do that." So I held it off for a little bit, and I just couldn't fucking take it anymore. I had to make a decision at that point in time. Do I leave her here and try to find a job there? Or do I stay here and potentially go back to jail because I have no way of making money, no way to eat, I have nowhere to sleep? And that is part 1, my friends. Sorry, it's kind of slow drip into the story time, but it's about to get crazy, folks, so get excited. Much more uploads coming soon. Follow me on Instagram. That's Icarus480, just like you see here, except mashed together into one word. Until next time, baby, peace, love, and smoke DMT.